Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to a new episode of the Forgotten Podcast. I'm your intro host, Cam and Joe, joined by my other co-host, the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. Curious Hippo. 1, 2, 3.
I genuinely forgot I was meant to say something here, so yeah.
It's all good. We can use that. That's fine. That's
cool.
fine. 100%.
I'm glad. 100%. I have to edit this.
That's going to be boss. Alright, well, going on from there, I guess, I'm sure I can speak for all of us here at TFP. By the way, all of us means just the two of us here, of course, myself and Curious, because Mr. Zebras and, of course, Mr. Zebras and Mr. Septic Spud would have loved to have been here, but sadly, Mr. Septic Spud is busy working, which is understandable, and Mr. Zebras is dying of some sort of illness. We're not too sure, but we'll let you know ASAP. We believe it's Corona, but it could, if anything, be something else, like bird flu. We've got no clue right now.
I don't know which one it is just yet.
Exactly. Anyway, so I'm sure I speak for all of us here at TFP when I say for episode 17 we are joined by not only a good friend and well-respected member of our communities, but also a very successful content creator, entrepreneur, lo-fi enthusiast, and unique creative individual, who with just under 30,000 subscribers, currently sitting at 28,100 and over 8.8 million views, has made quite the unique name for himself within the Minecraft community and ours. Please welcome the gorgeous, the mythical, the man himself, Mr. Bluerim.
Hello.
Very mythical.
Hello.
The mythical. Hello. His name's Steve.
Hello. Oh man, thank you for coming on the show, Blue man. Honestly, bro, it's a pleasure to have you, bro, from all of us.
Here.
Man, it's been a long time coming. We've actually discussed with Blue for a hot little while, and Blue, you can tell this yourself. We've talked about doing this for a little while. In fact, it's been more of just a thought though, as opposed to an actual proper thing on paper. But here we are, man. So again, I really can't thank you enough for coming on the show, man. I guess just jumping into the first question itself of the show, of course, Blue. I mean, how are you doing, man? Obviously, of course, we're getting close to the summer holidays. Restrictions for COVID are obviously easing up and whatnot, and presumably you're going to have a bunch more free time during the holidays coming up. But how have things been in your real life, with school, YouTube, COVID, and everything in between? And I guess, man, are you excited for the summer holidays to start, dude?
Oh, of course I'm excited for the summer holidays. I've been looking forward for them a while. And as of how everything's been going, last week I probably had one of the best weeks I've had in a while. School was off for a week, and everyone in my family were away. So I just had the whole house to myself. One of the best feelings. Just being able to wake up.
Man.
What did you do on your own then in the house? Come on.
Oh, I woke up at 5 a.m, started the stream. That was pretty nice.
Oh, damn. Stream. I thought you said scream at 5 a.m.
I just felt a lot more productive just having a couple more hours every morning just because no one's home, so I can just go up to wherever I need to do whatever I really needed to do.
I think sorry, cutting here. I think I remember you telling me actually about this, and I think you were saying like it was just so awesome because you could be fully productive, couldn't you? You could get like so much done. Like I think, was it not you were telling me, do correct me if I'm wrong here, bro, like you were saying something like you kind of didn't really notice how much like you don't get done because of them being there, you know what I mean, and how much you can get done because they weren't there.
This is why I believe in domestic abuse, honestly. Like they just get in the way, man. They just get in the way. Like you're born into a household and you're stuck. You can't do shit. So honestly, full on support. I like the screaming at 5 a.m.
Yeah, I'm on board with that.
Good.
Man, it's good to hear, man. It's good to hear, dude. I can't lie. Again, I just recall you saying that, again, the factor was that, you could be so much more productive because you weren't there. So, I mean, what did you get done while they weren't there? You were streaming, but did you make some content? Like, what was happening?
Every morning I was able to spend 2 to 3 hours just recording wherever I wanted to. I could get work done from school, and so wait until around waiting until like 7 p.m. in the night where everyone's kind of chilled down a bit, but I still have the area to myself.
Yeah.
And it was just amazing, just being able to do so much. Worked out on the average every morning just 5 additional hours just to do whatever I really need to do instead of just waiting for everyone.
That's fair enough, man. That's fair enough, dude. And you're quite an early, I mean, I gotta say, man, I've always known this. You're quite an early riser. You know what I mean? You get up very early. That you're kind of like the early bird. You know what I mean? But I know what you're saying though. You can't really do much in the mornings, so it's nice that you could do that. Where were your family, if you don't mind me asking? Were they like on holiday or something? Or
they were just at my cousin's house, who live a bit far from here. So they just wanted to spend some time talking to cousins and just catching up with them.
That's nice, man.
They come around every now and then, so my family thought they'd visit them.
That's nice, man. That's nice. So at least you kind of the family got to see other family, but at least you got some free time to yourself, because I think there's nothing better than that, personally. So fair enough, man. Fair enough. Fair play.
Are we segueing? Because I'm very bad at segueing.
We are segueing.
You see,
just as the worst.
I'm making it like a reoccurring thing to just say that I'm doing something, because then it doesn't become awkward. It becomes funny and self-aware, and I'm a funny person.
Self-awareness for the win.
With you creating your channel on May 27th, 2020, recently your first anniversary came up, and it's hard not to be impressed with how much success you've had in one short year. And especially considering you've started from scratch, how do you think the rest of the year is going to go for you and the Bluerim channel? Do you have some big or small surprises?
To be completely honest with you, I think as of right now, I'm probably going to go downhill. I did great, don't get me wrong.
Same. Continue that.
Jesus. I did great, and then the issue is when I was becoming more popular and popular, that's when I stopped making videos. Or
too much clout, man. It gets to you.
That was really bad play by me. It's not even the clout. It's just that I got really busy with exams, and I just couldn't keep up with the whole amount of work that I needed to put into exams versus videos, and then I just ended up stop doing videos, and as a result I just started going downhill. I didn't get as many videos out, so less people wanted to stick around, and as a result of that, usually probably going to do a bit worse for the rest of the year. I don't really know how to phrase it as of right now.
I love the optimism.
I was going to say, I mean, I obviously can only imagine, because, you know, I'm not in high school or anything like that right now. Of course, I know Joseph is in college, right? But, you know, I can only imagine how difficult it must be, you know, kind of like trying to juggle this, you know, this thing, YouTube, of course, right? With obviously, you know, real life stuff, of course, especially, you know, your family, your friends, stuff like that. But also, of course, you know, exams and, I mean, the stress, because I've heard it's a very stressful time.
Are you still in just like school, not college? You're like doing your usual academic subjects? Yes,
GCSE, all of that.
Yes, no. I remember doing my GCSEs and that, like juggling YouTube stuff with academic stuff that is just because of academic education is so much harder than in college as well, because things of college is also quite rough because I'm balancing media with media, because it's, you know, YouTube and media stuff. But it is weird because you have to segregate it and you get bored of doing one or the other. But when it comes to academic subjects, I remember that is such an easy burnout because you want to make videos, but also the school system pushes you to like do 8 hours of homework daily, because it's like, oh, you need to, because apparently the education system's like optimal like working rate is an hour of research homework every day of each subject. So you're doing it. So if you have like 8 subjects, you're doing 8 hours of work every time you get home, which I think is
actually. Sorry, Cotton, is that actually the case? Like an hour of research for each subject?
We were told.
Wow.
Well, it depends, because if you're the higher up, it was usually for most subjects. But in my case, it was usually just the subjects you had that day. So if you had maths, English, and science, you would do an hour of maths, English, and science.
So that'd be 3 hours total. Yeah.
Yeah, which I thought was stupid, because, you know, the segregation with homework and schoolwork should be different and not vastly similar.
But that's, I mean, I can only imagine the stress from that, because, you know, like, you know, being in school alone can, you know, if you're doing, you know, homework or work in school in general, that's obviously in of itself, you know, stressful. But then coming home to, you know, your comfort zone, and then having to do even more of that for even more times. I mean, 3-4 hours of homework, especially set up to 8 hours depending on how many subjects you have.
I remember
ridiculous.
Back when I was in year 10, there was actually a study that released that was saying that high-end students for their GCSEs nowadays actually have reached the same amount of stress than the psychiatry. I don't know, the fucking, what was it? It was like some sort of mental institute.
Right.
That it matched the same stress levels as a patient at a mental institute. I don't remember exactly, but I remember seeing the study at the time. The teacher was showing it around and stuff, and they're like, "Oh, that's really fucking bad."
That is bloody ridiculous. I mean, god darn.
It's awful.
Yeah, it is. It really is, man. I mean, to think you'd have to be studying that much is just way too much stress, honestly. Especially for like someone like myself, I just couldn't do that. I'd be like, you know what, man, I'm done. But like, yeah, I can only imagine. I got to give you guys both props for that, excuse me, for going through all that, and Blue obviously in the midst of going through it.
You're assuming I'm doing it.
Oh yeah, I mean, from past experience, I'm sure. From past experience. So yeah, moving on from there though, it's no secret that your incredible success and the thing that really blew up your channel went hand in hand with being, I guess, somewhat the early bird to a new YouTube feature and making some incredibly smart, well-placed content. But what advice would you give to other content creators, new and old even, who are struggling to grow on the platform? What would you recommend they can try and strive for?
It's like you say, consistency is key. And that's where I had a downfall. Being consistent is probably the #1 way to grow, because then viewers know they can return and have new videos or new content to expect from you. Whereas if you're very inconsistent and upload every 2 months or something like that, it's very annoying for the viewer to come back, because they know, well, if I come back in 2 months, then that's when I'm going to get a video. If I come back now or something, there's no real point.
Yeah. So your main kind of key would be in your device, I would guess, from that would of course just be consistency, be consistent.
And if you want even more proof on that, when I started growing, it was in the space of a month. That's when I did a whole week of just uploading daily, and that's when I got the most growth in that 1 week where I was uploading daily.
And I guess so. Would you? I mean, would you do streams as well? Obviously, we're gonna touch on that. Obviously, of course, in just a moment. In fact, funny enough, but I guess would you recommend? Would this be being consistent with content as in videos? Or are you saying content as in content, whether that be streams or videos?
Or even like, do you think that it's important to be consistent, as in just to be consistent, or consistent as in the quality of the videos is consistent? Because I think they're two varying factors.
Yeah, for sure. You want to keep quality as well, because if you upload something that your viewers don't find to a degree of manner,
would you reckon's more important, the consistency of uploads or the consistency of the quality of the uploads?
Consistency of the quality.
If you're saying quantity is more important. No, quality is more important then.
Yeah. If it means only uploading once a week or once every other week, compared to uploading every single day but half-assing every single video to the point where it's unbearable to watch, I would say definitely quality once a week is enough, because it's still consistent at the point that viewers can expect some more, but at the same time it's good enough so that
most people respond the same way. It is like a nice hybrid between quantity and continuity, because like people have to have that like grip on audience members, and I'm chatting out of my arse here because I do not upload that often, but I know I'm fucking up. But I'm a bad YouTuber overall because I hate trends and stuff. So I mean, I'm a dying cow here. But that's a weird reference. But continue, I guess.
I think his response. Excuse me, sorry, cutting in there. I think your response is quite fair enough. 100%. I think consistency is key. I think it's probably one of the best. That's probably the main bit of advice. Excuse me, I give content creators myself as well, because I think everybody knows consistency. Excuse me, definitely is key. If you're not being consistent, you're not kind of showing your viewers that you're a reliable source of. I guess
you become reliable. Like it's a way of proving yourself in a weird way.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it. Yeah, 100%. Well, I guess moving on to our next question here, because it kind of falls into the realm of talking about you and obviously your content and whatnot, how you produce it. Of course, it's different from giving advice. So originally, when you started producing your content, you never shared your voice. In fact, in all 59 of your public uploads or public videos, you haven't once shared your voice or done any sort of commentary, which is quite actually interesting. It's only been recently, though, with the introduction of your chill streams, if you want to call them that your audience has had the ability to be able to hear what you actually sound like, and even more than that, actually interact with you, of course, on a live basis. My question then is, why don't you record your voice, and do you see yourself kind of transitioning more into commentary content in the future, since you've been speaking more often now within your actual chill streams?
As for talking in my videos, it's more that it's not that I don't want to do that, it's more that I really can't get the opportunity, because when I'm recording or something, I'm either downstairs on my computer editing or upstairs, and in both situations I've got family talking loud in the background, or just something that could be a disturbance. And another reason I don't really talk in my videos is because I just prefer text. I think text is very simple, and sometimes when I speak too fast, or I end up very slurring my words, which make it hard for people to understand me, whereas text is pretty easy to read.
If you had the chance, would you change into commentary?
I was thinking maybe if I was to go into commentary, it wouldn't be for tutorials, it would be more for gameplay. So if I was to play a game and I wanted to make a video on it, then yeah, for sure I'd do commentary.
Oh, it's like a live commentary type thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think text in general, and I think it's quite a good point. Text is more universal. Even though not everybody does speak English, but those who do.
Doing your tutorials in binary.
but generally speaking, text. When we speak with our voices, we can all maybe say that we all speak English. But if you're from the United States or Ireland or Wales or England or Scotland or wherever it may be, there's different types of English. I'm saying different accents, different backgrounds, etc. I think speaking in text form kind of
it's also good for people who can't frequently speak English, and I can read it. Like I'm not an artist, Leon. She's Brazilian. She can't really understand much spoken English, but like she can read it quite well. So like subtitles and that is definitely beneficial to her and other people like that. So I can understand why you're saying it's like the universal code, apart from the national type thing instead of it being universal.
Would you say, and sorry to continue on with this, we're going to get to the next one in a second. But would you say that maybe has went almost, dare I say, hand in hand with your success, perhaps? Because you haven't had your voice play in any of your videos, and I'm not saying anything against your voice. You got a lovely voice, and I've heard many very very many compliments about it. May I just add? But in general, though, if you think about it logically, perhaps would you say that maybe has played some sort of part in your success with your videos, because they are more text based as opposed to commentary?
Yeah, for sure, because some people just don't like voice in general. I mean, even despite the voice, just some people just don't like voice in a video when they're trying to focus on what they're trying to build. And I think that's probably perfect for my channel as of right now. But with my current editing style, voice might get in the way, whereas right now I just do a time lapse and have text saying what to do with nothing disturbing in the way, if that makes sense.
I get you.
I do kind of rate that, to be honest. Like the amount of times I remember me, but mostly my dad. He'll be watching a tutorial. Recently, he got a laser cutter, and because he's fucking madman, and he's like looking at tutorials and stuff. And I can only imagine, because he's done this before with other things that he's bought. He looks into tutorials and he'll get somehow unholily angry because there's always someone that's doing like a tech review that has a really annoying voice, and like he's like, I want to know the information, and there's just some guy like, hello my tech bros, and it's like, I don't know, he showed me one earlier and we were taking the piss out of the guy making the video, and I probably shouldn't, but it's kind of funny. But he like jumps up in his chair, he spins around, he's like, what's up my tech family, and it's like, man, just shut up and show me what the camera does, so I do understand the appeal.
It's so
of the
easily
text
frustrating
only.
It's especially when you're trying to learn something or trying to achieve something, whether it's repairing
or even worse, maybe if some you're sort of halfway into it and you need it quick.
Yes, yeah, exactly. There's nothing worse than to deal with maybe a 5 or 10 minute long video.
I've had that with a few gaming tutorials where it's like, just get to the point, man.
It's not even like the person's voice might be inherently bad. It's maybe just more that you're in that kind of that much of kind of almost like a frustrated kind of mindset that you're just not wanting to have to listen to them, and then being there, they're getting the blunt end of it. And I think that's definitely the case. So I definitely like that.
And it's always like a 2-minute intro, a 1-minute tutorial, and a 3-minute outro.
That's what I try to refrain from. I always try just to go instantly into the tutorial. If you notice in all of my videos, the intro is just a quick showcase of the build and into it straight away. There's no talking about how you can do this and do this to help me out or anything like that.
There's no filler with your content. I've definitely noticed that. There's more, it's just so cut blank and straight to the point. I think it definitely does go hand in hand with the commentary, because with commentary it's so easy to, unless you have scripts of course, to just kind of sway away from the subject or the point and kind of, I guess, wander on.
I want to reference back to what we previously said about the whole quality stuff, because this is very relevant. Looking at your content, it's very apparent that you are a creator who values quality over quantity, with each of your videos feeling not only well thought out and well made, but also highly polished. With that being said, there are many disadvantages you can think of with the mentality of quality over quantity. And would you recommend it to other creators? I really butchered that, I apologise, but I had a flow. But
you got it.
Yeah.
In my opinion, quality is really important, and if you can aim for quality over quantity to an extent. I wouldn't say just do quality purely if you can't do quantity, because I went a while back this is when I mainly started when I started the channel. I used to go months without uploading just because I wanted the quality, and now looking back, that was really bad of me, because then there was no reason for people to stay around. But at the same time, quality videos also attract people, because people prefer easier to follow tutorials instead of just half-assed tutorials.
Do you reckon with newer creators? Do you reckon with newer creators, right? If someone is trying to get into YouTube, do you reckon it's better to master quality first, then quantity? Because you clearly need both. But like, would you say work on the quality of the video first, then the consistency?
Yes, that's probably the best method as of right now, because after you find your quality, you found the spot that you feel most comfortable in, where you think the video is suitable to go out, and at the same time you can keep up in making, if that makes sense.
You get into a nice mojo of it. You get into like a rhythm. With the vast majority of your success coming from YouTube Shorts, when the feature was released, I wondered what your thoughts were on now. That's worded really badly. What your thoughts were now on YouTube Shorts? Do you think they've become overused or oversaturated on the platform, or do you still enjoy seeing them?
I enjoy seeing some. It's
Swift
not all,
answer.
The main issue I have with shorts right now is mainly people just taking other people's TikToks and just re-uploading them. I don't know if
I've seen a lot of that. I feel like most platforms now have that vertical feature because they all realise the drastic success TikTok got. So I definitely, I agree with it.
It's definitely something I've seen because, you know, I was around on the Vine era, and Vine was all vertical as well, if you don't know. So, you know, Vine was like the grandfather of this kind of concept, and Vine done very well with it because it was a very, you know, kind of like unknown and it was, you know, everybody recorded portrait and, you know, landscape. This was always a thing, but it was, you know, a platform that only allowed, you know, portrait recordings. And, you know, they allowed you to kind of, like, it was only 6 seconds initially. That was a really interesting kind of dynamic that had never been seen before, so it worked very well and was very successful for Vine. And then obviously TikTok came around, and TikTok done that, and TikTok is, you know, instead of 6 seconds you got a minute, which is much better. Of course, you can do so much more. And you know, again, they've got that kind of portrait kind of, you know, I guess concept, which is brilliant.
That's why you can exceed a minute now.
That that's actually true. Yeah, they up to 3 minutes. 3 minutes, yes, that's correct. A friend of mine called Coda, he's got apparently 70,000 subscribers or 70,000 followers on TikTok. Yeah, it's phenomenal. He said that it's they're kind of upping the platform's like limit. And what's kind of interesting is that if you look at it, you know, from a different kind of point of view, if you think about it, it's rather I wouldn't even say suspicious. I'd say it's rather, you know, coincidental that they're changing this limit of how long a TikTok can be, almost as soon as YouTube. And I got to be honest, YouTube stole this idea from TikTok. But as soon as like YouTube has taken this now, it's almost like TikTok are kind of coming back with a different sort of mindset of how they can change it. Or like overall, like they can try and like change the way that they make their videos, make it a little bit more unique and kind of bring people back. But I don't know if that'll work, obviously. But I mean, would you say they become oversaturated? I think they have, definitely.
Yes, they have for sure.
Yeah, it's for sure. I think
I want to say they're oversaturated, but I don't think I can fully say that. Because, I mean, technically, if anything's going to become a permanent feature of anything, it's going to become a more prominent part of the app. I've never caught myself on YouTube scrolling through shorts, ever. Like, never done that. I have, however, done it on Instagram, but that's not because I wanted to, but because I thought I was on TikTok.
I've definitely done it, and you know what's so bad about YouTube Shorts was, you know, now at least, excuse me, is that, you know, and initially, Blue, you know this better than anyone. Initially, when YouTube Shorts first came out, it was exclusive just to India, but it wasn't exclusive. It was actually able to be used in the, you know, in the United Kingdom. And Blue, obviously, you kind of learned this first off, which was very interesting and a very unique kind of thing to know, of course. But what is so kind of infuriating about it now is that everybody's seen that there's, you know, at the very beginning there was a lot of success with this because again there wasn't very many people doing it, and the algorithm picked up your videos more often. You know, you had a much higher chance of getting picked up by the algorithm and really blowing up. Again, just like what Blue had multiple times. But the thing is now, because everybody's seen that, you know, everybody, you know, they can't see something without wanting it. They've all started doing it, and you know, they've kind of inherently became the problem, because the more people that do it, the more people that get into it, the less people actually get into the platforms, you know, I guess the algorithm itself. And people are still getting a lot of views from it, but not as many as they initially would be. And also, like what Blue said, you're seeing a lot of content creators re-upload other content that is not even owned by them. I mean, I've saw multiple different shorts on YouTube, and I've caught myself scrolling up multiple times, even just today, just before this podcast, and it's some of them are good, but the majority of them are just so bad and annoying and cringy. You know, you've got this really overused kind of fake humor that's all staged and all this cringy stuff.
I think it was a really good way of introducing bad Instagram humor.
Yeah,
if you know what I mean.
That's an interesting way of taking it. Yeah, that's definitely an interesting way of putting it. Definitely.
Building off what you said, it's oversaturated. It's mainly the content type that I don't really like on YouTube Shorts as of right now. The content type on the type of videos going out. Before, I quite liked it because it was mainly actually tutorials and just quick tips on games, and I quite like that. Just every now and then just seeing 60 seconds of how to do this in this game and how to do this in that game, or a quick way to fix your PC from overheating so easy. And I quite like that stuff. And then randomly it's just all these TikToks that are absolutely cringy, all staged, all fake. I don't know if you've seen this one with the two twins, the two Russian twins or something.
Yes,
I absolutely hate that content.
It's so obviously, you know, staged, and it drives you away from it as well. And I think that's why they're doing it. But it's ridiculous. They're still getting millions of views, and it's like, god damn, man. Like, it's just. I think our good friend Zebras, obviously, who we all know here, one of Z, Travis. He actually told us, he explained this in actually I think the last episode they were doing as well, obviously episode 16. And he's told me this many of a time. You know, because of the amount of people are using YouTube Shorts, but by the end of the the year, there'll be more people uploading YouTube YouTube Shorts
thinking
on
this
the
earlier,
platform.
there's just so many.
Than there will be people
And
that
it's
are
not
uploading
even
actual
because
videos.
of the uploading as well. Videos that are under 1 minute are being put into YouTube Shorts.
Well, that's exactly it. Even like my dad started doing it. I've been doing, obviously, all of us here have tried it. But for example, like people like Planet Dragon, another friend of the channel. Dragon's kind of primarily making shorts. Rolly Egg, you know what I mean? There's so many other content creators.
I made some a while ago, so
yeah,
they're definitely beneficial.
I'm not judging anybody for doing this. I'm more than okay. Listen, I've done it, and I think everybody else. I think anybody here who says otherwise would be lying. Definitely you should give it a go. If it helps you and it works for you, great, but you've got to understand, there's so much happening now within YouTube Shorts that it's getting to the point where nobody's getting anything, and the more people that are doing it, the worse it's becoming. I think the best advice is get in there now and then just get whatever you can and then get out. Milk it till it's dry.
I suggest waiting for YouTube Longs to come out, where you have to upload after an hour, and
YouTube Longs.
Taking advantage
I'd love
of
to
that.
see something like that.
That would be great, because honestly, if you a lot of people binge YouTube. I know I fucking do, because I've got no life.
Oh, yeah.
But like, honestly, if there's like hour-long videos, maybe that should be categorized as well, because that's not happened in content yet. Like,
that hasn't.
Might as well take advantage of what you can. I mean, YouTube makes some questionable moves.
Although it's a very interesting point. I think the thing that made Shorts, TikTok, Vine, so successful is that these pieces of content are all very short. You can watch them and you can easily digest something. You know what I mean? Someone's going to say digest. That's not a choice of words. That's the right choice of words. They say that often. This is statistically speaking. Often when you get someone watching your videos, the first 15 seconds of a video is the most important. If your first 15 seconds do not have a hook that catches the viewer's eye, doesn't catch their attention, they're going to not watch the rest of the video. So if if the video is only a minute long though, and your first 15 seconds is a short, for example, or TikTok or Vine was 6 seconds, you're more than likely going to get views on it. I mean, that's why Vine got so many views for so many content creators, because you were basically getting them left, right, and center. Anybody can spend 60 seconds or 6 seconds watching a piece of content, but once it goes past that 5 or 6 minute mark, then there's an issue. Then there's a bit of a problem.
It becomes
then there's a lack of interest.
Not mindless watching.
They say, statistically speaking, if you look at again analytics from most probably content creators, and this already I've seen this myself personally. The average viewer might watch maybe to the 6 minute mark, but after between 6 and 12 minutes is when the viewer starts to lose interest, and the enthusiasm for watching a video slowly kind of dies off. So YouTube Shorts I think has been so successful, same with Vine and same with TikTok, because all the content is so short, digestible, and easy to take in and quick. You can watch something, get it over with, and watch the next thing and keep going. And that's how you can find yourself watching YouTube Shorts for hours and hours and hours. Same with TikTok and same with Vine as well, because they're so short that you just don't really acknowledge the time as much as you would if they were longer. So I think that's the main thing with them. But sorry about that, we're going on a little bit of a tangent here. My apologies. YouTube Shorts is a big thing, of course it is.
Yeah,
they're actually short.
They're actually short and high. So something that has been happening with your channel for and I as well. So something that's been happening with your channel for quite a while now, sadly Blue, has been people either unsubscribing or being unsubscribed by YouTube. With you losing now in total, I believe 700 subscribers since late March to now June. I guess my main kind of point with this was, how does it make you feel losing those subscribers? Does it bother you in any way, or do you have any idea why they're even unsubscribing, or do you think it is YouTube?
I mean, it's a bit expected. Every YouTuber loses and gains subs. It's nothing new. No YouTuber in this world has gone without losing at least one subscriber, and it's expected. So I was expecting it to happen, especially with me being inconsistent within a few periods of time on YouTube, especially near the February to March area time period. That's when I mainly went inconsistent, and I could see why people would stop subscribing. And to be honest, it doesn't bother me too much, as well, it's my fault. It's something that I could have done better on, and that's just my bad. The best I can do is improve my quality and improve the amount I upload to see if I can gain that back.
Well, I'm sure you can, definitely.
I understand the pain of losing subs though. Like, although it is just a like a learning curve, it still is demotivating. I've lost 140 subs in one stand. At one point, that was a while ago though, but I understand what that's like, so it's definitely a motivation spiral, but like it's also just an obstacle.
The worst I had at those when I was, I think, 2.9k subs, and then YouTube, and then overnight, not even overnight, over the space of about 60 to 70 minutes, I just lost 2.2k subscribers randomly, and I was confused by it.
Oh, I remember you telling me this. Yeah,
and then a lot of few people.
YouTube debated you.
And then a few people just messaged me in the morning. Like, for example, Axel, Rolly, and then a few others just messaged me saying, for some reason I'm no longer subscribed to your channel, and also what happened to my subscribe account. And then I messaged YouTube about it. They just said they don't really unsubscribe people. I just think they might be lying, or maybe that is the case or something like that. And they said that if they do make people unsubscribe, it's because of bots. But I didn't bot, so it was very confusing, especially since a few of my friends also unsubscribed.
It's definitely something that does happen. I've seen it myself, and I've been. I mean, it happens on multiple different platforms, not just YouTube. It can be on Twitch, Twitter, whatever. People can naturally sometimes, because it's like the way these platforms handle their kind of like, I guess, I know, bot monitoring, if you want to call it that, almost like they're following monitoring. It's occasionally like they can unsubscribe or unfollow people, but it is no less frustrating, because you think about it, you go, damn, like that's a lot of people. You know what I mean? Yeah. Definitely. It's a real hit to take, but you'll get it back. You know what I mean? Yeah. But it's not nice. It's a sin as well when YouTube can't give you a proper answer.
They just say bot, even though you know it wasn't bots.
Yeah.
Well, it's not the suit that makes the man, so not much is known publicly about you outside of your channel. As your hobbies, day-to-day life, appearance, and more. But from what we do know, you've mentioned in the past is, to Catman Joe on his streams, that you are from a Muslim family and have rather strict parents. How did they initially take the news that you were a YouTuber?
They didn't know actually until recently, a couple months ago. That's when I told them. So I had my channel for a good solid 6-7 months before telling them, and I only really told them just because, I just thought I'd let them know in case. I mean, it was probably best if I let them know before they found out somehow.
It's like a threat.
But if they find that you're getting in trouble, you have to say, imagine that. Is this you? It's Samir.
I mean, it's probably best if I tell them when I'm doing the best. So I told them when I was at 28k, and that way, I can say, I'm doing great. There's no reason to stop me, because if I was at like 10 subscribers...
Don't kill me here. Don't kill me here. If I die here, I can't get any further. Please.
Yeah. Because if I told them at 10 subscribers, they'd just say I'm wasting my time. But since I've had success, they've kind of been okay with it. But I think the main reason they've been more okay with it is because recently, members of my family, at least my extended family, so cousins and aunties, have been trying it out, and I've been 10 times more successful than them.
Gosh, what? Has there been any sort of like not animosity per se, but any sort of like jealousy or tension between the family? That you're like, you're little petty people to me. I would say I've got way more subscribers than you. Anything like that, or has it just been okay?
Nah, it's been okay as of right now.
Oh gosh,
as of right now, it's been a pretty chill between the families. They've been alright with it.
Well, that's lovely. That's good, man. That's good at least. Have they asked you for any tips or any sort of advice or anything like that? Have you had that from any family members?
Yeah, I remember my uncle's reaction was, "Oh, you're lying." He just didn't believe me at all.
You're lying. What a great reaction, to be honest. That's so cool. But I mean, to say that you're lying. But I mean, have they came up to you and went, "Hey, is there anything that could you give me a shout out? Can you do something?" Like that?
Oh yeah, I've been asked a lot of times.
What's been your reaction?
I just told them a shout out's not going to do much, as statistically speaking, not many people actually stay around after a shout out.
This is true.
Oh gosh, man. Fair play, man. Well, at least they took it okay. I mean, obviously initially when you told them, I'm glad they never found the channel, because that would have been, I'm sure,
the weirdest thing is when they asked for a collab. That's the weirdest thing.
Oh god.
How did that go down?
I just told them, since I do tutorials and I don't speak in my videos, a collab won't be suitable.
What sort of stuff do they do then? Like, what's the collaboration idea? They do like TikToks
and all of this, vlogs and all of this, and then I've got this one that does Islamic stuff where he reads the holy, the Quran or something, which is our holy book. And then I don't know how I could do a collab with the channel like that. It just doesn't make sense.
So you can't see yourself doing like a build tutorial of the Quran?
The Quran is a book.
Yeah, no, I know. Like, can't you like write it out in a book in Minecraft? Like,
it's thousands of pages.
Yeah, so you can have another book. You could have like it in chapters.
Boys just writing up chapters.
I do Arabic.
I don't exactly know the plot of the Quran, but like, I'm sure it's
not
good.
a plot. It's not like
just be a bit sensitive here, because as some people might be offended by this, but it's just about the life of our prophets and what's good and what's bad and what you should refrain from. That's
is that the Prophet Muhammad? Is that am I correct?
Yeah. All the prophets. It's not just Muhammad. It's all the prophets.
Right.
And the creation of everything.
Oh, well, I mean, I think that is quite a good point, though. 'Cause, like, you know, a collaboration between you and your cousin, and you know, like, fair enough to him for wanting a collaboration, but I think I do definitely see your point of like, how would that work? You know what I mean? Like, you can't. There's no. I mean, how could you even potentially, you know, make that happen? You know. But it's nice of him that at least he wanted to maybe do it. I can't lie. I can only imagine though your reaction. I'm to try and let him down slowly and easily. You know, like, well, I don't think that would work out too well. You know, I'm not too sure about that. But that's good, man. That's good. That's a fair one. That's a fair one. I can't lie. All right, so going on from there, we've got the next question. Throughout your entire catalog of content you've released, you have played all 3 different versions of Minecraft. That being, you know, Java, Bedrock, and Legacy. And you've made content on all of them, which is really incredible, obviously, of course. Of all the 3 different versions, though, what has been your favorite and why?
Pocket Edition.
It depends on what I'm trying to do. So if I'm trying to record, PC all the way. Java is probably the best platform to record. You've got so many mods that just help out. You've got replay mod where you can make time lapses easily. You can edit on the go, and you can just load out of worlds, go into worlds, change texture packs, change whatever you need to do. You also got world edit for building. Just a bunch of things that just help out in recording. So if I'm trying to record a video, for example, a tutorial or a time lapse, I'd go with Java Edition. If I'm trying to just play with a few friends, I'd probably say Bedrock Edition, since they have servers and stuff. And I'm more comfortable with a controller compared to a mouse and keyboard. It's just the way I am. Mouse and keyboard is great, don't get me wrong, but I think controller is probably my most comfortable situation.
I'm definitely in the same book. I think I can't really pick up controller or mouse myself. It's just a little bit too much, you know.
I can't because I'm borderline disabled, but I wish I could. No, like, I've got screwed up fingers. Like, I think I've told you this. Like my, I've got like I was born with Viking disease, so it basically my some of my joints and my fingers are shorter, so I can't straighten my fingers.
Oh. I can't tell if you're messing with me.
No, I'll send you a photo after. Yeah, that's why that's why Leon calls me Curious Velociraptor. Because now I've told you this before. I can't straighten my fingers. I have told you this before.
We can go through the past experience. You've never told me this before.
I have genuinely. Like, okay,
I swear.
Straighten out your hands, like so your fingers are all flat. I cannot do that.
Right.
Okay.
Well, you can.
So now raise your little finger and your finger next to that, so they're like in an arch shape, like an arch.
Right.
Okay, and then raise your middle finger slightly into an arch, but not as much as the other two.
Well, I can't.
That's what my hands are like.
What?
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yes.
I've never heard of that.
I'm gonna send you a picture, Joe.
It's cool. I can't. It's cool right now. We'll look at this.
Afterwards.
After the podcast. After the podcast, 100%.
My point being, I can't. Like, so for example, I played Skywars with a few of my mates back in the day, and I could never bridge across because my little finger cannot hold down the shift button properly.
Oh.
So I would just fall off and die. So that's why I'm a controller player. But it's also why I'm better at using controller. So it's like
that's mad.
Yeah, it's weird. I have told you this before.
We have to speak of this. We're definitely out of time. That 100%. I cannot recall this.
It's funny because I can get it fixed, but I'm not going to because I'm so used to it. I feel like straightening out my fingers would be fucking weird. No, I'm just so used to it. But the surgery to fix it is just to break all my fingers, and fuck that.
Oh.
Yeah.
No. I think I'd rather if it's not causing you any actual pain currently.
Oh, it doesn't.
Like,
I am just a dinosaur. So
that's it. Well, that's it then. It's not too bad then, I suppose.
Raw.
All right. Well, aside from the dinosaur part, but let's move on. All right. Let's get off that one. That was a very interesting one. I can't lie that I learned something new there.
Before, you motherfucker.
Never have. I swear to God, we're gonna look for this. Never have. I swear. All right. Anyway, all right, Bluerim. So we have a reoccurring segment on the show called the Forgotten Seven, where we ask our guests 7 a little bit more personal questions to get to know them a little bit better and help paint a bit of, I guess, a more clear picture of who they are as a person, more behind the content, so to speak. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you several questions, and you give us the most genuine answers you can. Does that sound alright, Pappy?
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Glad to hear. And Joseph had Pappy in the script.
It's funny because
I saw him do it.
Did you see the Bedrock one as well?
I didn't see the Bedrock one.
Yeah.
Made some typos.
Yeah,
I didn't see that.
They weren't typos, they were, yeah.
Wow. I didn't see it. But yeah, anyway, so let's go into it, alright? So, what does your typical content creation outfit look like?
I've got this weird issue where I'm always boiling. Even in the winter, you can expect me in... No, even in the winter, you can expect me in shorts and a vest or something. I'm either in the shorts or vest when I'm recording or something. I'm just sitting on my computer chair, just trying to record.
Just to stay cool, just to stay quite cool.
Boiling. This is the worst weather. I love the winter. Winter's probably the best weather in my opinion, because it's
Fair
a lot
point.
easier to warm up than it is to cool down.
I agree.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah. So, what's the best piece of advice you've ever been given?
Being given, probably.
Being given, or heard, perhaps?
Slowing down. It's such a simple advice, but just taking your time and stuff. You never realize how much time you actually have until you actually try it yourself, actually trying to slow down and taking information.
That's a great piece of it. I think just slowing down, just to reflect on things and just be able to, more calmly look at things. It's definitely that's a very good one. In fact, great one. What is your absolute dream job?
Something to do with CAD work, which is computer-aided design. I don't know if you've seen these videos where someone's given a design brief, and they have to make a design product through an online computer. So let's say a chair, or for example models or skins for a game. For example, if you were to take a Black Ops gun, someone had to design the gun through using a 3D software or something, and I'd love to do something like that.
That'd be a really interesting kind of thing to do. I mean, how would you even go about doing that? Have you looked into that?
Yes, so in my school I do I'm actually doing 3D design as one of my main subjects, and we use a software called Onshape to create designs and just different models.
Is there anything that you've created so far that you've been quite impressed with?
As of right now, it's just been basic stuff such as design products such as tables, chairs, desks, and then in my own time I've also worked on just models for cars, and just, as if you were to make a car, it would be broken down into different shapes, and then each shape having their own sort of design onto it to make the car.
Yeah, what it is. No, I get that. All right, are you a morning person or a night person?
For me, I'm quite lucky. I don't need much sleep, so I can stay up all night, or I can wake up pretty early. It's all down to what I feel like that day. So some days I feel like waking up extra early, and then some days I just feel like staying up all night just because I can.
That's a great answer. I think we've never had somebody answer the question almost by not answering the question. It's you. So you didn't. Yeah,
you're one or the other, buddy.
It's I'd say from personal experience,
don't try to cheeky shit.
You're more of a morning person. Definitely from knowing you're more of a morning person. But I do know what you're saying though. It's like you can kind of go either way. And like you said, you don't need much sleep.
So you swing both ways, is what you're saying?
Yeah. Last year lockdown was probably big evidence of that. I used to stay watching 24 hours to 48-hour streams.
Wow.
You're a nut job.
That is a lot. That's a lot. What is the strangest habit you have?
Just one moment, Joe.
Oh, no worries.
That's a weird habit, man.
That is a habit. That is a habit.
Strange, bro.
That's what it is. Oh, very odd. Very suspicious.
It's ominous.
Very suspicious. I can't lie.
It's a running
ladies and gentlemen, while you're listening to the podcast right now, we have a quick moment while Blue's gone for a moment. I just want to say, if you're enjoying this episode, please be sure to go drop a like, and of course, and let us know down below in the comment section. Joseph and myself, we did want to get here.
Please comment potato.
Yeah, comment potato, and that would be a keyword, and just let us know. Just comment potato. And we really hope you're enjoying the episode. Just to reiterate, like what we were saying earlier on, Travis or Zebrus and Brad or Septic Spud, they would have both loved to have been here, but sadly some things came up. So
sadly, Z is ill, and Brad has been enlisted into the Third War.
The great one.
Someone came into my room.
No worries, bro.
Someone came into my room. Yeah.
It's no worries.
My mic and just talk to them.
No worries.
So weirdest habit I have. I don't know how many of you have tried this, but raw cereal. So cereal without milk.
Really?
It's one of my favorite treats. I don't know why. If I'm gonna snack on something, it will be most likely raw cereal. So something like Cocoa Pops or Shreddies, or sometimes even Weetabix.
Shreddies are lovely. I can't lie. But I mean, do you have any? Do you have sugar on your cereal without milk?
No. I just.
If you put sugar on your cereal, you're wrongin'.
Yeah, I don't put sugar in my cereal.
You are
I don't put sugar.
Really?
Good.
You guys never done that with like corn
flakes? I have done
or
it, but
Maltese?
It's wrong. It's wrong.
Not a lot of sugar, a little bit of sugar. It adds that sweetness.
No.
You guys are odd. You guys are odd people. What is one thing we would never guess about you?
I am a great liar, and I love dark humor. Those are two.
I know this. I know this.
Okay, that dark humor maybe, but I'm actually great at lying. I can get away with basically anything.
But
if I try.
Just told the truth.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
But that's what just messed himself up. Oh man. So I mean, what would probably be like one of the best lies you maybe ever told?
That would be telling.
I don't want to speak of myself.
We won't tell.
But in school, when me and my friends were just mucking about, and the teacher just came up to me, I said with full confidence, I just somehow lied my way out of the situation. There was litter everywhere, and my friends accidentally dropped something. It was a windy day. The first thing I said to sir is, "No, sir, it was the wind." And the sir said, "You're telling me the wind did that?" And then I just straight up looked at somewhere else and said, "As you can see, sir, there's people throwing stuff over there, and in the corner you can see the wind's pushed all the way over there." On the spot. And afterwards, sir came back later, and he was asking why we're pushing each other around, and just something like that. I just said, "No, he's just getting something out of the bag." Sir actually believed us. And then he just walked away. We didn't get any trouble.
Are you sure you're a good liar, or is your teacher just really brain dead?
No, this teacher is known for finding you out. If he wants to get you in trouble, if he wants to get you in trouble, he can easily get you in trouble.
No, that's a good one. I can't lie, that's a good one.
Plus 10.
Fair play. There you go. Yeah, exactly. Plus 10. And all right. And finally, for our last question, the Forgotten Seven, have you ever had a nickname before? And if so, what is it, and how did you get it, or how did it originate?
I've had many nicknames. And
what's the most prominent?
The one that's probably stuck around the most is Sid, as in Sid the Sloth from Ice Age.
Oh no!
I like this one though.
Tell me. We gotta know.
If you notice, Sid for a guy and as a sloth, he has very long eyelashes.
Okay. You say you've got luscious eyelashes.
For a guy at least, I've been told I have very very long eyelashes, and his eyes are quite big. And I also have quite big eyes for a guy.
Oh. Someone write this down, we'll find out who he is.
Oh man, gosh darn. I mean, and do you like? I mean, is that like the best one you found? You like it? Do you? Is it like who gave you it though? Like a friend in school?
It was just a class thing. Everyone we were watching Ice Age as during break time when it was raining outside. We were just watching Ice Age.
What the fuck happens at your school? It's raining. When it starts raining, they put on Ice Age.
No, it was raining, and then you get to get a choice: go just chill, or you can also chill and watch a film inside the.
They just told us to go sit in the rain. What the fuck?
Tristan was in another kind of camp. We can't mention it. Oh man, but no, that's a very interesting, unique name. I can't lie. That's probably one of the best we've heard. Actually, I really can't lie. That was a good one.
The fucking sloth. Right, well, I'm going to try and regain some chromosomes with a normal question. But your channel, for the most part, has probably one of the most chill and nice comment sections we've ever seen on YouTube, with most of your videos getting really positive feedback. But are there any hate comments you've had that stuck with you, or, you know, what were they about in general?
I mainly ignore comments like that, but one that I get a lot is, I'm copying famous YouTubers that do builds.
Oh, like Mumbo Jumbo.
Yeah, of course, because Joe's very, very famous.
He is, man. Have you seen his hentai collection? Man's minted.
I get told that I'm either copying other big redstone builders or just builders in general, so Mumbo Jumbo, Grian, or just other builders. Like,
are you copying them though?
No, I'm not. I'm trying to. I
heard Blue's original. Man. Blue's original. Yes, I got to tell you that, man. I've seen Blue's loads. It's original.
I've recently made a new 3x3 piston door, and it's much smaller than my other design, but I'm not sure if I want to upload it just because I've done it too many times as it is. I've done 2 3x3 piston door videos, and I'm not sure if I should upload it.
They've all got better, haven't they?
Yeah, Blue, I just want to ask though, because your name, like, I just had a random thing. I don't mean to pop a Planet Dragon, but like, is your favourite colour blue?
Not really. I just thought I'd just use blue just because it's an average colour.
Does red rim not work?
Yeah.
Red rim. I feel like that's just a little bit. Yeah, that's a little bit suspicious. Red rim. I don't know about that, man. Not today, honey. Not today. Maybe later. Maybe when I'm in bed.
Sounds like a position.
I've actually got. There was actually a layout behind my name, Bluerim. There was actually a reason I called myself Bluerim.
Was it sore?
It wasn't just random or anything like that. There was actually a kind of somewhat of a method behind it.
Okay.
So you know how my name is Samir, and the last letters of my name are M-I-R. I reversed my name to get Rimas, but I didn't really like the ending, so I just had the rim, and I just thought I'd just add a random colour in front of it.
I'm gonna pretend you did.
Smart. I mean,
like I have
smart
no clue how that came to be.
M-I-R-R-I-M. It makes sense actually. It's quite good how you put your own name into it. I never actually knew that before. I think you probably told me this before. I'm not too sure.
Yeah,
but
I told you about my fucking.
You've never told me about it. Don't stop saying this, man. He's lying to himself. He's never told me this. We've spoken many of a time, and he's never once brought up this bloody conversation.
But okay.
Never once. I'm totally gobsmacked by it.
So looking at your channel, you've experimented in the past with playing other games outside of Minecraft, such as Ark Survival Evolved and Apex Legends blockers. But do you feel like, as if Minecraft content creator, you feel like You play Minecraft and it's cool, and you think it's hard to make content on other games and step into new communities. Fuck you.
Oh yeah, for sure. I remember when I first uploaded the Ark Survival Before video, I got tons of comments just asking, "Are you done doing Minecraft? Are you done doing Minecraft?" Asking for me to do Minecraft again, and it's kind of discouraging because it tells me I can't really branch out because, well, people want this content only, which is a bit annoying. But I can see why, because people have subscribed for Minecraft content, they didn't subscribe for Ark or something. But I would like the opportunity to be able to do other content if possible.
I've heard that as well. So how does it feel to be a traitor?
I think being honest, like, really, it's one of those things where you can never really master, to be honest, unless you're a personality content creator who makes maybe content based on them exclusively, not really just a game, for instance. But all of us here, you know, we have, PewDiePie, exactly, is a perfect example. But all of us here all of us here have mainly though covered proper content, you know. And like for me, for example, even I've had many issues with covering other content. You know, I've done The Forest, and I've done very successful off of it.
Catman Joe.
Even Catman Joe, of
big
course.
Man.
Oh, inspiring, I know.
Fuck.
But no, like
we all have issues. We're only human.
Even I've had
all.
issues though. I've had issues with, you know, I've done games like Dead Island, Borderlands, all Borderlands 1, 2, 3 and pre-sequel. I've done Dead Island 1, I've done, you know, I'm trying to think, 7 Days to Die, The Forest, etc. And I love these games, they're phenomenal, great games, but I've only been able to make a couple pieces of content on them because people do inherently go, you know, if you stop playing this game, why do you stop doing this? I'm unsubscribed, I don't want to see this, whatever. And you just, it's a shame that you can't really get the experience to be able to kind of branch out and try something different. And it can really be quite demotivating, 100%.
Yeah, and one YouTuber that I watch is called Millard. I don't know if you heard of him. He does like he makes Subway sandwiches while talking about street. And then it's one of his YouTube shorts. I just found it for YouTube shorts, and it's just nice just hearing some random stories while seeing a guy make a sandwich or something like that.
It's quite simplistic, but it sounds nice, yeah.
But then he made a random video just I don't know, doing unboxing, and then people were just like, okay, I don't want to watch you anymore. You're just doing unboxings now, and then
go back to making sandwiches.
Yeah,
it's a real shame. It really is. I wish more people would be, and I like you said, I do understand exactly, and you're very right. People subscribe for what they subscribe for, you know what I mean? Like, if you sub because of Minecraft, you're going to want to see Minecraft, but you should be a little bit, and I mean, not everybody has to, I mean, nobody owes anybody anything, no content creator, etc. But it would be nice if people would be a little bit more, you know, perhaps understanding to seeing different content. They'd be a little bit more like, oh, this is good, I'm happy to see that you're doing something different.
It annoys me that
I might not play it, but I'm happy to see it.
It annoys me that changing content is like a universally hard thing to do. Like,
it is.
Do people that watch this type of content only watch that type of content? Like, seriously? Like, genuinely?
I don't see how I can watch Minecraft all day or Apex all day.
No, exactly. I don't like, I play Minecraft religiously. It's like, honestly, day to day, and I've done it for years now, and I don't watch Minecraft. I don't even watch Minecraft at all. I'd be honest with you guys, I don't. Like, I love the game, and I maybe watch a little bit of content on it, but I'm normally watching I'm normally watching other stuff, though. I really am. Like, you know, I don't really watch just Minecraft.
I mean, I don't watch Apex anymore, like, ever. So
really,
yeah,
well, there you go.
Also, I see a few streams of Apex just because, well, I like talking with someone while watching some gameplay. I don't know about you, but I like watching streamers who actually talk with chat, and not just because the streamers are good at a game, or rather they interact.
You're an average watcher of Jake Apex.
Jake Apex, yeah, I watch a bit of Jake Apex.
Yeah,
I've watched his latest one, and then there's also a couple other YouTubers. I mean, YouTubers and Twitch streamers out there that I like watching, just because it's nice being able to talk to someone while watching them play and get live feedback.
It is. It's a nice kind of thing. I mean, that's what obviously you do and what I do and what Joseph does as well. All three of us, in fact. And it is. It's always a nice thing to do. I think it's something that many content creators, I feel like, fail to do, and it's a real shame because they're missing out on a big part of the market. I understand it can be difficult, but it's definitely worth it. You know, and it means a lot to people. So it's definitely something I'd love to see more of. So going on from there, we're going to my question now. So you shared a couple of times that you are Muslim, and from what I understand, it's, I believe, haram to, and please do correct me if I say it wrong, haram to listen to music in some Muslim families, specifically music that provokes your feelings towards women or men, and music that mentions, you know, drugs, sex, swear words, and more. From my memory, I even actually recall you telling me specifically that you weren't actually allowed to listen to music at all. So how is it that you developed such a keen ear for, you know, chill lo-fi beats and such?
Well, first of all, headphones, best friends.
Praise them, you have to say praise them.
And
this is sponsored by Beats by Dre.
The other thing is mastering the ability to make it sound like you're on a call with someone.
How do you do that?
I just pretend that I'm on a call with someone. So one does a question where I have headphones. Hey, how's it going? Yeah, I'm alright. How about you? I'm not up to much as of right now. It's just playing the Minecraft. Yeah, I was thinking maybe later we could hop on the road.
Hold on. What about music in games?
Like music in games. She doesn't mind that because there's no words or anything like that per se, unless you're playing. I don't know, Doom. I know Doom has.
Doom. What, like rip and tear?
Doom is like I think that'd be like the worst thing to listen to.
That's my favourite word.
But I mean, it's one of those things because obviously I understand, of course, it's an innocent religion and whatnot. I obviously would never want to disrespect that whatsoever. But I mean, for you personally, do you think it's a bit of a hassle? Do you like your music? Yeah, like you quite clearly do. I mean, I believe because I did do a little bit of research, of course, for this question, that it hasn't actually been specifically referenced as it's haram to listen to music.
It's very 50-50. It's very 50-50.
Yeah, I found that when I researched that. Obviously, I would like to hear more from you.
May I quickly ask, by the way, when someone says is something haram, is it good to be haram or bad to be haram?
Haram, I believe, isn't haram like the word for it's not disrespectful, isn't like it's not. What
the easiest way to think of it is just prohibited. It's against our
it's prohibited. That's it. Yes, yeah.
Okay.
That's a word that's towards it. But sorry, you can continue. Sorry, I cut you off there.
As I was saying now, it's very 50-50. I've heard so many different arguments. I've heard some people say, alright, it's okay if you listen to instrumental music but no voices, but then I've heard people say voice only, no instruments, and it's just very 50-50, and I've just so many different opinions on it. My mum just outright banned it because she doesn't know too much about it and she doesn't want to be in the wrong, so she just outright bans it.
So I mean, does your, I'm guessing neither your mother or your father or anything like that listen to any sort of music themselves,
not
like
really,
or that any sort anything like that? No. That's understandable. But I mean, for you though, listening to lo-fi, how did you first start listening to it? Initially, like how did you get into that? Like from obviously being not allowed to.
Looking for music for my videos, so I just do copyright free, and then a lot of the stuff has words now, and it's great. But if you're trying to follow a tutorial, words like someone singing in the background is very annoying. So then I found lo-fi. Lo-fi is just instruments, just gentle, something simple, but also nice to have in the video, just because it's something to listen to, so just pure silence. And that's how I started finding lo-fi. And then I just found a bunch of artists, and then eventually it just spiraled to one to another.
I mean, it's good that you got into it. Again, obviously, of course, I do understand it must be very difficult because obviously, like you said, your mother and your family are very religious, and you don't want to, of course, be disrespectful to them, of course, and obviously religion. But it is one of those things that you definitely have a very keen ear, and I must say that, and you always have when it comes to your music choices, with especially lo-fi. I'll let Joseph go from here.
Like I said, headphones. Cool. Like I said, headphones are your best friend, and being able to master the ability to make it sound like you're cool. And also a bit when someone unplugs your headphones, it's important that your music stops, because then I can just say, James, don't talk anymore, and then my mum will think, I'm on the call and he doesn't want me to. She doesn't want to talk.
What happens if she goes, James, can you please ask me?
I'll just be like,
Blue's gonna start imitating voices.
I'll just be like,
you're gonna be such a good ventriloquist.
No, I'll just say, oh, he left the call. I'll just tell him it's cold.
Yo, Drat.
Blue's had this before, you can tell. The man's prepared for this, he knows everything about it. Fair play, man. Fair play. Wow, that's a good answer.
When did
the sport?
Right. Okay.
The number one thing about
I'm going to explode in a minute. Right. This is a nice short one, so I can say it, but I want to be able to do so. Right. Question number 18. Where did the Bluerim channel icon and banner come from, and how was it created? You're welcome. I'm the best.
As for my icon, I don't know if you've seen Bitcoin.
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
My logo is kind of based around it.
Okay.
My logo is based around the Bitcoin, so the Bitcoin symbol's a B, but then it has extra parts on top. Well, I got the idea, a Bitcoin, mining for Bitcoin, to have like a mine cart and then like a pickaxe. So I thought I'd do the same, but without the whole Bitcoin part.
Bluecoin.
So a pickaxe, not really Bluecoin, but like my icon would be the letter B on like a token like item inside a mine cart, and the mine cart has a pickaxe on the back. It's meant to represent Minecraft as well, because
Minecraft. Yeah, it's a very interesting answer. I never really knew that. That's a very interesting response to how you would kind of go around getting your channel. I feel like it's got a lot of hidden meaning in there, which is quite interesting.
As for my banner, I was actually quite fortunate. One of my viewers actually made it for me, because they said they liked my content and they wanted to give me back, so they made what you call fan art, and yeah, they made that completely for free and everything. They just gave it to me, and I was more than delighted to use it. Because at the time I had terrible banner art. It was just some Minecraft mode and my name on top of it.
Oh, that's good of them to do that. Well, you recently started mentioning, or you recently not started mentioning, you recently mentioned in your official Discord, you know, for your channel and whatnot, that you were considering streaming some new games on your, you know, on your Twitch. What are some games that we might see you, you know, potentially playing, I guess, in the future?
Well, on Twitch, I hope to be someone who does just a variety of games. I don't want to stick to one game, so I was thinking Minecraft, Stranded Deep, Apex, Ark Survival Evolved, Terraria, whatever really. I don't really mind. So just something that's fun, but at the same time I can read chat and play, because I don't want a game where I'm focused on the game to the point where I can't. Yeah.
Sorry about, ladies and gentlemen, that is part 2 now. Obviously, my apologies. We just got cut, you know, just slightly cut off there by the very end. Sorry, we do apologise. It's just because, again, the recording reached its limit. But Blue, sorry, you were mentioning one about what games you're going to be playing on Twitch, and I think we got to round about the point where you're mentioning how you don't want to play games, that weren't distracting stuff, like games like story games.
Yeah, I was hoping to get into just games where I can focus on the game to a point, but at the same time be able to talk to chat.
What the fuck is going on?
Don't worry, it's all good. It's the sweatshop in the back. You're saying so good, it's so good.
I don't have a dog.
Help me, please. Yeah,
I don't have a dog. What is that? Is there a dog in my house?
Wait, is that? I thought that was Blue's.
That's not mine, Joe.
I don't own a dog. What the fuck?
We've adopted it all live. What's happening here? What? I can hear screaming.
Did a dog get in? We don't own a dog.
A dog's just walking into his house.
What the fuck?
Wait. Listen.
Wait. Theo? Come here quickly. What the fuck?
What happened?
I want to know now.
He sounds scared to death.
You're on a podcast. Okay.
Hi guys.
What happened?
A dog just ran up.
What dog?
A white dog.
A random dog. A random white dog.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, we
apparently a dog just ran up the stairs. Just a random white dog. We don't know the dog. It just came in.
It came. How did it get in?
Dark Souls, bro. Have you seen those dogs? It's one of those.
Oh,
How did it get in?
I don't know, man. Through the window,
a cat
probably.
flap or something? Like,
No, we have a normal door. It probably got up on 2 feet and just opened it. What the fuck?
Where's it now?
Oh, God knows.
Oh my God! His mom's screaming downstairs, and the dog's coming into the house. Oh my God!
No, I was like, because I knew it wasn't any of you guys. I was like, what the actual fuck is going on?
I thought it was Blue. Genuinely, I thought Blue was like had something. I didn't know Blue had a dog, and I was going to say, Blue, do you have a dog? I never knew this. Oh
no,
my
I know.
God,
and then
man.
I was like, do I own a dog? I don't own a dog.
I don't know if you actually know this, Joe, but dogs are actually haram in my religion.
Wait, is it?
Yeah.
What
We're
even?
not meant to have dogs.
Dude, he had a bone to pick with you.
The only reason you might be allowed a dog is if you're blind or if you need a guard dog because you're trying to protect something. If you work in a restaurant or something.
Are you allowed to have a pet cat or anything like that?
Cats and stuff are around. There's just two main animals that are definitely haram: are pigs and dogs.
I knew about pigs. I already knew about pigs 100%. But I never knew about dogs. That's fascinating. I never knew that actually before.
Because it said that when they bark, they scare away and they repel angels and any good thing to come to the household or something like that.
That's mad. I never knew that. I knew about the pig thing. Is it not because pigs are dirty meat?
They're so bad to the point where pigs would actually rather eat each other instead of dying.
Yeah. And is that
I heard
why
they're
it's
good
just
for hiding bodies. Because they
anything that's omnivore or carnivorous is seen as impure in our religion because they eat on other animals, and that can be seen as. And it's said that.
I'm still in shock that there's a fucking dog that just intruded my home.
I just can't. Honestly,
it was so scary as well because I'm not scared of dogs, but that was making so much noise. It was
I genuinely didn't know. I got to be honest with you. I genuinely, because Blue obviously I didn't know about it being haram. I didn't know that. Yeah, I don't have a dog in here. I genuinely thought it was Blue must have a dog. And I was going to say, Blue, do you have a dog? And you never mentioned this before. And I was going to say, when did you get a dog? And then Joseph was like, wait, do I have a dog? I'm like, what? Do I have a dog? What do you mean? Do you have a dog? Like, oh, that was amazing. I'm so glad we started recording again though. We got that.
That scared me shitless because I'm not scared of dogs, but it was so violent.
It was, I heard it was very prolific. It was quite there, it was outside the door. It was trying to get my show.
I think it ran up the stairs at my brother.
Oh my god. That's brilliant. That's brilliant. I hope he's okay though. Honestly, I hope he's okay. But
yeah, no,
we're approaching the end anyway.
Well.
So I'm going to be pointing with the dog. Anyway, so we're approaching the final question of the podcast, Blue, and I'm sure this is one question you've had, honestly, dude, dozens of times asked your way. But will we ever get to see the man behind the content publicly? As in, will you ever do a face reveal to the public?
It's a good question. I guess it's all down to whether or not I'm alone or something, because as of right now, it's all down to my parents and stuff if I share my face. So as of right now, it's a definite no. But maybe if I move out, live on my own and I'm comfortable doing what I want to do, then yeah, for sure, I'm always down.
Would you say currently, even right now, would you say you're comfortable with showing your face, or it's just you're not allowed?
Honestly, it's that I'm not allowed, but I wouldn't mind maybe starting off with like a cap and glasses and a face mask on. That way, it's not too revealing because I'm a bit younger.
Yeah, of course, yeah. But no, that's an interesting way to do it. Well, I mean, here's hoping one day we do, of course, because that'd be very awesome to see. And I really can't wait till that era potentially does, flower into the reality. Let Joseph go now. I think Joseph's currently barricading up the door.
I'm just in shock. I'm sitting here laughing to myself because anything that could have happened, I didn't expect a wolf to attack. It's like, what the fuck was that?
I just can't believe it. I really can't. I can't wait to hear this in the record. Because
when I'm done with the podcast, phenomenal. I'm going to go and ask what happened, and I'll fill you in. But yes, what the fuck, man? Right. So for the final question of our podcast, that's Podcats you. With you,
I said pod. I put Podcats. That was definitely on purpose.
Yeah. I see that. With you, Blue, do you think you are the best guest who we've had on the show? And also, do you have any questions in return?
I don't think I'm the best because I think I did average, but I quite like Zia's podcast.
I think
he's a host though.
That's true. Yeah, no, he's a host now.
But it was just nice meeting Zia. It was like meeting a new person and I also like Purple Withers podcast a lot.
He's a furry
though. Nostalgic for me.
Yeah.
Purple Withers. That was a very lengthy one as well. The Purple Withers podcast, but
it was just nostalgic listening to him because I used to watch a lot of his videos, download a lot of his maps back on PS3. Well, I used to love hosting maps and just getting people together and just playing on his worlds.
It's really nice how we're all interlinked, you know what I mean, like this, because I've known Joe, obviously the Purple Weather, this is my name, Joe. I knew Joe, so since this, there's so many Joe, far too many. The Joe 1, Joe 2, Joe 3, it goes up to Joe 20, I'm telling you. We just don't see them all here.
We will take over the world.
We will one day. We will one day. You will be changing your names to Joe one day. I'm telling you. But no, I mean like with Purple Weather, Joe and when we got him on the show as well, it was one of those things where I've known Joe since he's bloody 12, 13. Now he's a young man. Yeah, and he's really flowered into a really awesome young man and whatnot. He's definitely, there's a lot going on in his real life that you can always tell that, and I think in the podcast it was very evident. But it was nice having him on the show because it was for a lot of people especially, it was kind of almost like closure to know what happened to the Purple Weather and where he went because. Yeah, his voice. A lot of people were surprised at his voice from when he was younger. Of course, the vast majority of content screen. Yeah, a lot of people wouldn't.
I saw you to hey guys, Purple Weather here, welcome back, and then he goes on to talk about the map, and then just randomly hearing this teenager that's going through puberty, deep in his voice.
It's mad, but it was a pleasure having him on the show, and it's just the same as you, man. It's a pleasure to have you on the show, bro. I love this because we have such an amazing community that there's so many connections between people.
That's what I was thinking as well. Like, even though I'm not part of the Minecraft community, I'm interlinked with so many of the Minecraft people, and then Apex, and then other people as well, which is really cool. And I think online friends as a whole is just a really fucking awesome concept, honestly.
It definitely is.
Yeah,
but Blue Man,
online friends.
Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry, that's my bad for cutting in. But online friends are some of the greatest people. I mean,
definitely agree.
There are bad sides to online, but at the same time, being able to talk to someone while not have met them, it gives you more comfort sometimes, just because they can't see you.
Yeah, that privacy.
Yeah, they can't kill you as quick. Yeah.
That's a good way to put it. But I think it's also you can find a lot more common ground because you can find what games you like, etc. And it's lovely. You can really bond a lot more. So definitely, it's brilliant. But Blue, before we end, man, I've got to say thank you once again for myself, Joseph, and obviously Travis if he was here, and of course obviously Bradley. Again, they honestly, both of them did want to be here. There just some things came up, of course. But I can tell you from both of them on their behalf, thank you so much for coming on the show on their behalf, and obviously of course from mine and Joseph's, man. It was nothing less than an honor and a pleasure having you on the show, bro. Because we've been wanting to do this for a long time, man, and it really was a lot of fun, dude. And it's great always just chatting with you and chilling with you, man, honestly. 100%, dude. So thank you so much for coming on, man. We hope you had a good time.
It was my pleasure being here. It was just nice being able to talk to people. It's always
No,
nice
it's
to
chill.
I've been in this room for about 8 years and I cannot speak to anyone.
He's like, I've been here for a long time. They don't know a thing.
trapped in the basement.
Oh no, you're saying, gosh darn. Well, Blue man, I gotta say, man, before we end though as well, man, do you have anything to promote, man? Any, your own channel, anything you're doing? Tell the people, let everybody know who's watching if they got this far in the video. Let them know what you've got going on, and I don't know, man, promote yourself. You know what I'm saying? Give yourself that little thing. Tell them that your Twitch, your YouTube, whatever, man, whatever you want, TikTok, anything.
You don't have to, but if you do like Minecraft content and you wish to get a few tutorials on buildings, then yeah, for sure, check out my channel. It's not needed though, guys. So I'll grow eventually over time. Also, Twitch and streaming. I don't really stream much on Twitch, and when I do, it's pretty rare. YouTube, I do stream, but it's also once again very rare. That's about it, really. I don't really use other socials.
Well, my man, you guys heard it there first. Go check out Blue. All the socials will be linked down below, so please be sure to go check him out. He's a great guy. And Blue, you've been a fantastic, I guess, guest, of course, for this episode, man. It's been, once again, a lovely pleasure having you on, bro, for this episode, for episode 17 of the Forgotten Podcast. If you guys did enjoy it, please be sure to drop a like on it, share it for your friends and family, and of course, subscribe to not only the Forgotten Podcast, Curious Apple, myself, Bradley, of course, Receptic Spud, Travis, or of course, obviously Zebras, but obviously, of course, the guest himself, Mr Bluerim. We'll see you all in the next episode. Have a fantastic night, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. And God bless every single one of you.
Adios.
Adios.
I'm gonna leave all that in.
Yeah. That awkward.
Hey, I'm still here. It's just me, Curious Joe 2, whatever the fuck you're gonna call me. First of all, thank you very much for watching. Genuinely, this episode was very fun to make. But I just want to say we have some bloopers, and this is what this segue is for. We're going to go right into some bloopers, and just for a little bit of context, we were going to record this podcast a while ago with Zebruce, but obviously, like we mentioned previously many times in this podcast, he wasn't able to make it anyway, so he's actually here in spirit in the bloopers segment when we were trying to record, and it's just kind of me and Joe screwing around, and I get a bit hysterical, and it's quite funny, so, stick around if you want, but altogether, if you did enjoy the podcast as a whole, make sure to leave a like, because that does help us out. Also, for some slight context, I just want to say the reason that this happened was me and Joe are in a PlayStation party, and Zebruce is actually unable to use his microphones. He's sending us voice messages via Instagram, and we're listening to those. But I decided to be, usually unhelpful, and I just posted pictures of random things, such as a spoon and other memes into the chat anyway, and it led to some pretty hysterical results. I'll let you enjoy now.
Let's see here 1 second.
No.
I say the only other way you could do it is by getting on his phone, but this is just getting ridiculous. He should, Z, you must have a pair of.
Tell you what, next week I'll go on
or...
my phone and we'll balance it out.
Yes, there we go. Oh, great! Just everybody starts downgrading to fucking phone.
Can we just all record on a metal can with a string?
If we have to go on Discord again, we can go on Discord. I can record with the phone, but I'm gonna sound like fucking like fucking.
Can we not? Anything that last time fucking hurt my chromosomes.
Oh my god, Z, what is it? Oh no, it's Joseph, Oh, is he saying voicemail?
No.
Yeah, so quick reminder, I smashed my phone into a million
Oh my god.
and,
Forgot.
Hold on, Curious just posted a picture and that is cursed. What was I even saying?
Step over Darth Spoon and you distracted him. He said over Spoon and distracted him. We're just giggling at Zeke and he's sitting there dying away. Pure depressed because he can't speak at all. It's a darn spoon. Of all things.
Oh, the only spoon here is usually.
I'm looking at the second voice message.
Oh yeah, my phone is smashed into like a million pieces, so the audio kind of fluctuates. So
Clipping it, boys.
A girl's panel and
I was gonna say,
a girl's only school. I don't know.
God, it's
Something like
so
that. Come on, man.
fucking hot today. Is it a heat wave over there as well?
It's warm today over here. It's been really lovely. I've been in most of the day
Oh,
the
it's
right
not even
description on
lovely,
it, but
but then
like
again,
when I
I'm
went out,
a
it's
fucking
hot.
quite cave Della. Like quite far.
Oh, my dad's like legitimately like not even like my dad's like actually black, man. Like that's what my dad's a white guy, but my dad goes in the sun like every day, all day, whenever the sun's out. My dad comes back like legitimately. You think he's like
he spent so much time in the sun. He's got an N-word pass.
Really, like genuinely, honestly, man, like for real, it's not even jokes. Like for real, my dad honestly gets that much of a mad tan. It's unreal.
Does
like,
that
I can
make
get a good
you
tan
mixed
myself. Yeah, man, I'm biracial.
Apex Legends
Oh
is
my
very
god.
cool.
Okay, so I'm trying to get this working.
Oh.
And all I hear is chill. Just say he's sweating like a paedophile.
Yo, his mum walked past the door. She said it. Listen.
Oh god. As my mum walks past my bedroom door.
Someone clip that. We're using that in the outtakes for a podcast. Please clip it, please.
I will.